the mentor is now questioning what his role is.
So, using what you've learned this afternoon and even this morning, we want you to think about 2 questions. So someone keen at the table might want to just jot a note or 2 about the questions you're going to have to think about. So using the team-based approach, we want you to first look at your framework and where would you put this mentor within this framework and why? And the second question that we want you to think about is, if this relationship were to stay together, how would you use the team framework to assist the mentor and the child in having a successful relationship? Okay, so the first question is, put the mentor in the grid, decide why you put them there. Then the second question is, using that framework, if they were going to have a continued successful relationship, how would you suggest them moving this? So again, picture yourself dropping into the world of this match and you being the guide using this framework that you've just learned. Okay? Clear? Cole's Notes version? Good. 10 minutes, and I'll give you a warning next time. So just to recap on the scenario, we had Johnny, who's a mentee, and he's matched to a mentor who's obviously been in his life for some period of time. And he's got another male role model, a father, who's come back into his life. Questionable about where the father is on the chart, but we didn't ask you to do that, although some of you might have. We wanted you to look at where you might place this mentor on the team framework and why. So who has a great answer for us? Somebody over here has an answer. Who's going to be the spokesperson?
We thought that Adam might put himself as the role model. Number 4, role model or counselor. And we thought over the process of needing to fix the situation with him wanting to flee, we would move him to instrumental and insist that he stay because the child doesn't need another abandonment issue. He needs more consistency and stability. And we thought we could establish that by engaging Johnny first, asking what he wants out of it, okay, because that's really important.
And where does that fit in Michael's terms?
In Michael's terms, uh-oh. Okay, in a sec.
What's the word Michael would use?
Collaborative? Yeah. Oh, I wrote that down, actually. It's there. I just didn't say it, sorry. And then we thought we might have to mentor the mentor a little bit because he might be having his own self-esteem issues, and we don't know what his motivations for being a mentor in the first place are, but he may come from that similar background. So that was part of that. And we need to engage the dad in the collaborative relationship and encourage Adam to stay.
Great.
One back here.
So we started thinking that it was the role model at first too, but then we thought if he was a role model, why would he be threatened by the dad? So we thought maybe he was more of a tutor because it's top down, and now that the dad was above him, he got scared because he doesn't have that same authority anymore. And we did the same shift to instrumental and asking the kid what he needs, because if the mentor's feeling stressed by the situation of the mom being sick and the dad back, like just imagine what the kid's feeling. So to ask him the questions.
Who has this happen in their mentoring matches? Anybody had this happen before? Well, obviously it's somebody's scenario, but who else has seen this happen? Okay, yes. I'm sure this table should be putting up their hands over here.
I was just thinking that the mentor is actually probably not really threatened, but rather, as most males who come into this program feel that they need to be the male representative in the child's life, and that their sole purpose really is just to be a male influence. So when the father comes back, well, he's back, so I guess that's it. I don't really need to be here. I think the difference between like a big brother and a big sister is a big sister is more about that big sister role, whereas a lot of the big brothers come in because of so many single parents where it's the mom and the kids don't have a father in their lives. And so when the father comes back, all of a sudden the whole purpose and the reasoning behind getting into this program and getting into this match, that need's no longer there. I don't think it's really a threat that the dad is going to, have this influence and I don't know what the kid wants from me. It just goes, hey, maybe I don't really need to be here anymore because The whole reason I joined was because he didn't have a dad. Now he's back, so I guess I'll just go find somebody else. And I think maybe it's not so much addressing what does the kid want to get out of this, it's addressing what does the mentor want to get out of this. And talking to the mentor and saying, look, you have a different role. You're not the dad. The dad's inconsistent. You know, you're there to be a big brother, not to be his dad. And maybe that's part of the reasoning too, that there's issues.
Good insight. Michael, did you learn something?
We've been doing this for 3 days, right? And this is the first day people have actually applied the framework at the end of the day. We've asked them every time, but this is the first time. So you guys have given me a huge gift by showing me that it's actually possible. I want to thank you very much. And I like what everyone said. I also think, based on these sort of gender obsessions that I seem to have, that it'd be helpful to work with that mentor to appreciate the importance of the relationship and to see the value of being there as somebody who can just help the kid make sense of this inconsistent, somewhat chaotic father, you know. And that may be a role he didn't plan on performing, and it may be a role he didn't perform very well or feel comfortable, but that he's needed at, and we need to help the mentor see that.
Is there still? Right there.
I just really appreciated what this lady over here said, and it was part of our discussion as well, that our roles as mentors aren't static, and that as the youth that we interact with develop more external supports and those internal resiliencies, that our role as a mentor can change, and that we're going to move maybe to different parts of this, and that's okay. And in this situation with the mentor, we just talked about that, coming to a realization as a mentor that your role is not static. It is a dynamic relationship, and as the kids progress, that our relationships with that child is going to look a little bit differently. So,
Anyone else have a comment that they want to make in regards to the scenario? One point that we've been making each of the days that we've been doing this is really about the fact that both of these frameworks, yes, apply between an adult and a youth relationship. But the other thing that we want to remind everybody in this room is that these frameworks also apply to the other people along the lines in this process. This is something that we can be doing with our parents that are involved with the kids. Because think about if we mentored some of the parents with these two approaches, what might happen for their kids? Also, supervisors, people who supervise frontline staff, what might happen if we as supervisors use these two approaches with our staff, who then use them with the parents, who then use them with their children? And I know somebody brought this up earlier today, and I wanted to have the mic at that time, but I didn't. This is how I earned my plane ticket around Alberta. But wanted to really make the point that this is about applying this in a lot of different aspects and not just with young people. So I hope each and every one of you, whatever role that you take, are able to apply this to the people that you work with, because I think it comes down a long line in making the lives of kids a whole lot better. Anyone else have a comment before we hand it over to Randy and Mike to wrap up for the day?
When Wayne was asking to identify the most significant person in these children's lives, and then that's the person we really need to connect with. And then I asked, what if they're the dysfunctional person? And we didn't really get to go there, but we might end up having some influence on them and maybe fixing, or not fixing, repairing that relationship as well, so that it's collaborative. So I'm not sure if that's what you were talking about, but it struck me this morning that that's what I was thinking, is then we get ourselves into a big network where we got to fix this and this and this, and then that's going to fix that and that and that. So,
and Wayne would say, don't use the word fix. I have learned a lot this last few days. However, it's applying and guiding, I think, with these principles that really impacts a lot of others. Well, I'm going to take one more. I'm going to take one more and let Randy and Mike get set up. I'm going to go all the way over here.
Hello, everyone. I've been listening to the comments and to the speakers, and everything that I hear, as people, as adults, we have to think of ourselves. We were once children too, We have to think about the environments we grew up in, how we grew up, what kind of influences we had as children. A lot of these adults, we look at them, they are adults, mature-wise, but inside they're children because they've never had that proper role modeling that some of us have had. So we have to consider all those facts in the work that we do with children, with youth, with adults. But to put labels or to say, fix them, we can't fix anybody. It's them that fix themselves.
Thank you.